Hey, audience and listeners, this is James Kandasamy from Achieve Wealth Through Value-Add Real Estate Investing. Today, I have Jack Rosenthal from New York. He's not in commercial real estate, but no, his story is very inspiring to a lot of young teens because he has been doing a lot of things at 18 years old. Hey, Jack, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on, James. Looking forward to getting the chance to speak with some of your listeners.
Sure. So my listeners mostly are real estate investors, but a lot of them are investors. I'm sure a lot of them invest in stock market too, right? Because that's the normal commodity, right? Of what everybody knows.
Yeah.
And I think the reason I invite you, I mean, I never invited anybody else other than people who invest in real estate, and even that you need to be an operator, right? But you have some really good stories, which is at 18 years old, you wrote a book. Who's a best-selling, and you have a group that you have people, and so I'm very inspired with people who are young and trying to do crazy stuff out there. So why not you tell our audience on a little bit more about yourself, about your book, about your story, on how can you inspire others?
Yeah, totally. Okay, so what's up, everyone? My name's Jack. I'm an 18-year-old college student from I go to Babson in Massachusetts, and so just recently I wrote a book called Teen Entrepreneurship. Holding up to the camera over here. It's my latest.
Can you show the book again?
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, I think it's disappearing in your screen thing. Teen Entrepreneurship. Okay, got it.
But anyway, I recently wrote that book, and that was a follow-up to the book that I wrote last year, which was the first book I ever wrote.
What was the first book?
The first book is called Teen Investing. So Teen
Investing, and now it's Teen Entrepreneurship.
And now it's Teen Entrepreneurship, exactly. So Teen Investing by Jack Rosenthal on Amazon, and Teen Entrepreneurship by Jack Rosenthal on Amazon. Those are the two different books. Mm-hmm. And so kind of more and more about my story. So I started when I was 14 years old. I started something called the Young Investors Club. Now, I started investing in the stock market when I was 8 years old.
Okay, well, before you go there, right? Why at 14 years old you want to? Who told you, or did you dream it, or did someone give you a free domain to?
It's a pretty good name. But what happened is I was looking for a way to invest money alongside other teenagers. So I was looking in my local area. Hey, I have $1,000. I want to invest. I want to invest alongside other teenagers.
No. So even before that, right? At 14 years old, why you want to invest?
Why did I want to invest?
What triggered you to invest? Because you must be in the school, and
totally.
What was the aha moment, or did your parents ask you to invest? You got no choice; you have to invest, kind of thing.
No, they didn't give me no choice. My grandfather set me up when I was 8 years old with an investment portfolio, and he said, "Here you go, Jack. Here's some stocks. Here's some money. You can decide how you want to invest it. It's up to you. It's your portfolio now, and you can keep adding to it over the years." So that's initially how I got involved in investing. Okay. From that, I built the club when I was 14, like I said, where we invested real money in the stock market. By the end of that year, I just went very heavy recruiting mode. We recruited 20 members, got 20 teenagers.
Why did you recruit people?
In order to basically grow the club.
Why do you want to grow the club?
Yeah, a lot of great questions here.
Yeah. I want to go into your mindset, right? I mean, I don't want to know I don't want to know what you did, right? I want to know why you did it.
Why I did it?
Because we want to inspire people, right? So for example, when you said, your grandfather gave the money to you, which is a good thing that did my grandfather. I want to know, what did your parents think about that?
Yeah.
Did they say, don't follow the grandfather, or did they say, yeah, awesome, let's go and do it? Or focus?
So my grandfather had to ask for permission from my dad in order to obviously giving some money to an 8-year-old, 8-year-old.
Okay. And how much did he give? I mean, if you don't mind sharing.
He gave me $5,000.
Okay. And did he give you a portfolio of stocks to buy?
No, he just gave me the cash and said, you can invest however you want. You can't touch the money. You can't take it out, but you can choose how you want to invest.
And did he explain why he did that?
Well, he explained because he wanted me to build a portfolio for when I was 18 years old for now, so that would be even larger. And he knew if I took money out, that would be smaller. And obviously, it's kind of tempting for a young person to, as soon as they get some money, to want to use it. But the whole idea was...
You didn't go and buy games, right? So
yeah, exactly. No games, Xbox, or anything, just keep investing it.
That's good. Awesome. Yeah, okay, go ahead. So after that, and so you got that money on 14 years old. When did you start the club?
So I got the money when I was 8, and then I started the club when I was 14. So the whole idea was we were going to invest $1,000 each, 20 other teenagers in the stock market together, and manage the portfolio together. It's basically going to be something called...
So what was the conversation you had with other teenagers?
So what we did is, I didn't want to do it through the school in order to record the club, because the school is going to have too much regulation involved. Anytime there's real money involved, the school will like to dig their claws into it a lot, and a lot of regulation. So I want to do it totally outside of school. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't have 20 friends that all have $1,000 to invest in the stock market when I was 14. So what I did is I found and partnered with a large organization. It was a much larger parent network. And the parents, it was like thousands of parent members. And what we wanted to do was essentially get on their platform so we could offer the club as a additional bonus to being in the club, being in the parent network to their children. So we started the Young Investors Club. We finally, after 6 months, fast forwarding through the process a lot here, but after 6 months convincing that large organization, we got on their platform and we became partnered with them. And that's how we got the first 20 members that year.
So let me go back a bit. I mean, I'm really trying to go into your success story, right? Because I want to make sure that either I get inspired or we inspire someone else, right? So when you get the money at 8 years old, did you make money when you're at 14?
No, I lost money. The first investments I made were bad.
Okay, good. So, I mean, at least we want to know what. And so, did you learn something from it?
Yeah. So when I tried, first of all, when I was 8 years old, I was like, "Oh, I'm a genius. Let me find 16 different stocks. I'm going to divide the 5,000 among 16 different companies. Watch all the companies trade in and out." Back then there was like mix when you had to pay for buy stocks. So I already lost money by buying 16 different stocks all individually. So in addition, some of the stocks I picked like were smaller cap and they didn't perform really well. So I learned some lessons there of like what basically not to do when I was investing. And I'm really lucky I got to learn those lessons at an early age.
So what are the lessons that you learned not to do at 14 years old?
Well, I learned you actually don't want to diversify that much. So I was trying to divide 5,000 with 16 different stocks. So my each position in each one was very minimal. And even if I was very confident companies would go up, there's very little upside in that one company. So it's spread across all these other companies. So I decided that instead my new strategy is to pick a few different stocks, really watch those stocks and concentrate a lot more assets inside those. So that was the big lesson I learned. Another one I learned was not to invest in smaller cap companies in the stock market. I've seen that strategy work for some people, but for me, it's never worked. I've always had much more success investing in the large cap companies. Those companies have proven to do a lot better year over year for the last 10 years or however long I've been investing.
Got it. So did you go back to your grandfather and tell, how did you perform with your stocks?
Yeah, I think it was like, then it went down to 4,500, which obviously at the time was like, oh my God, I just lost $100. 10% of my whole portfolio is gone. But then when we reorganized my portfolio, my grandfather showed me some of his tactics, what he was doing. He first gave me like all the money, said it's totally up to you. And then we kind of sat down and said, all right, now here's what I think you should do. And I really learned a lot of his strategies. And then the portfolios kept growing steadily ever since then and added money to it. Yeah.
So do you consider him to be a very successful investor?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. He was a commodity trader back in his day. Got me started investing. And actually, my first book on Amazon, Teen Investing, I dedicated to him.
Oh, good. Awesome. Well, I'm just trying to see his thought process. Right? So he basically want you to fail, I guess, right? So
I guess so. Looking back, I don't know. I don't know if I could get him to admit that, but
he probably, I don't know whether that's true or not, but he basically gave you a blind free right to go and make mistakes, which is a good way to encourage people to learn to make mistakes. And after that, he basically, I'm sure he has guided you after that, I guess. So do you think you are making a good progress in your stock portfolio right now?
I mean, yeah, I would definitely say based on the returns, we seem to be doing something right.
Okay, good. And how do you encourage other young investors to join your club?
So, the club is exclusive to, you have to have a parent that's a member of this larger parent organization. That's the deal we made with them. So in exchange for us being on their platform, they said we made the club exclusive to everyone within that network. So unfortunately, a majority of listeners on the podcast probably can't join the club. But if they're interested in getting educated on investing and on entrepreneurship as teenagers, or they have teenagers and their parents, then I definitely recommend they go check out my books, Teen Investing and Teen Entrepreneurship by Jack Rosenthal.
Oh, so you're saying majority of the listeners, who, even though they're parents, they can't join that club?
Yeah, exactly. Because you have to be in this parent network. The parent would have to be in this network. It's exclusive to one network. The network's pretty large. It's got like 20,000 members, but not everyone's in.
Okay, good. That's good. So you also manage your own portfolio, right?
Yep.
Of a few other investors. So tell us a bit more about that.
Totally. So I started managing my own portfolio and helping the Young Investors Club. Which probably I just go there for 1 second. So when I was 14 years old, created the Young Investors Club, got it up to 20 members that year, first year, then kept growing it all throughout high school. By the time my junior year came up, I built it into over 100 or close to 100 members and over $120,000 that the club managed directly, making it the largest teen investing club of that kind in the country. So after a lot of success with that and managing my own investment portfolio, that's what led me to write the book, Teen Investing, because I basically realized I had a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge teaching other teenagers how to invest in the stock market. So I figured, let me write a book on it and hopefully educate some other listeners that aren't in the Young Investors Club or that I don't know personally investing directly from me. So that's why I wrote the book, Teen Investing. Going back to me managing my own money and for other investors. So I started doing really well on my own stock market portfolio and managing it pretty well and achieving some pretty decent returns. that I started to take in some money and manage a portion of some other stock market investors' portfolios for them on their behalf. And that was a later project I got involved in.
So walk me through a process. Let's say you meet another teenager like you.
Yep.
What are the few sentences that you would tell him that he said, hey, I want to learn more what you're doing?
Yeah. Okay. So what do you mean, like learn more?
How do you convince him that, joining your club is a good thing?
Okay.
I mean, I know you have to go to the parents network, right? But let's say there's no parents there, but you can always find a teenager and tell their parents to come and, join the club, right? So, but let's say you have a connection to that teenager. What are the few words that you would tell them that to convince them about stock market and investing in general, assuming they don't have any knowledge about investing?
Yeah. So I would say the first thing I would tell them is explain to them why it makes sense to invest in the stock market, particularly early on. The earlier you start investing, the more it compounds later on in life. So it's great to get started earlier on, and it can really help them long term. So that's the first thing that I would try to sell to them for themselves. Be like, hey, dollars you invest now are going to matter more than dollars you invest later on, because they give them more time to earn and appreciate. So that'd be the first thing. Just get them sold on stock market investing. And then the second thing of why I recommended they would join the club is because it gives them a great atmosphere where they can learn from other teenagers. We invest the money all together, and there's something to be said for group wisdom. The whole wisdom of the group investing together could possibly make better investment decisions than just investing on their own.
Are you guys doing things like what happened to GameStop now recently?
Yeah. So with GameStop, we were tracking that. We didn't get invested in it, but we're very on top of those trends, obviously, as a lot of the people in the club are a lot younger and very familiar with that kind of thing. But no, we didn't invest in GameStop.
Okay. But do you guys do that kind of things?
We'll occasionally hop on some trends like that. If we see something before it's about to get picked up in the media, we'll quickly hop on it and try and make quick profit.
Interesting. Have you guys checked out other investment asset class like real estate or gold or silver or commodity?
We invested in bonds before. So we had a big cash position once, and we were like, hey, let's just put all our cash in a bond because we can earn 4% a year on that instead of just leaving it in cash. So we've done some things other than stocks. Real estate would be difficult to do because we have a lot of form signing. Technically, there's 100 different owners of the club's assets. So everyone would have to sign off to buy a piece of real estate and it'd be under everyone's name. It'd be very complicated legal work. So that'd probably be something we wouldn't be able to get into. But yeah, for the majority, it's all been bonds.
So what are your current investment portfolio and what are you investing nowadays?
In the Young Investors Club or myself?
Yourself.
Myself. So I invest all over. So I invest some money in Berkshire Hathaway. That's one of my favorite stocks, Warren Buffett's company, for those who don't know. I also invest in Blackstone. I really like that company. I also invested in Waste Management, which is the garbage company. I mean, it's a fabulous business. They own a huge percentage of the garbage disposal business in the United States. And I just see garbage as something, recession, no recession, good economy, bad economy. Everyone needs to take out their garbage. So, I mean, that's a really great business. And they also pay a pretty strong dividend. Those are some stocks in my own portfolio.
So do you invest for dividend or do you invest for capital gain?
Well, what do you mean?
Do you just look for profit or do you look for a stock with strong dividends payouts?
Majority just looking for profit. Majority not so much dividend focused, just because you can generally make a lot more, particularly in the stock market, on the appreciation much more so than the dividends. I mean, there's stocks that have gone up 10 times, but they never paid a dividend before, and you can make a lot more money there than you can with dividend stocks. So yeah, majority is all appreciation.
And what kind of stock trading styles do you practice? Are you a long-term person? Do you do a day trading?
No day trading. Don't know anything about day trading. Haven't seen it successfully work for any of my friends. So I'm just a long-term hold and investor. I got a long time horizon because I'm on the younger side, so I can just afford to just buy and wait.
Got it. Awesome. Anything else you want to share to other parents or other teenagers that would be inspired to do what you are doing?
Yeah, totally. Well, definitely, if you're interested in investing, go pick up my book, Teen Investing by Jack Rosenthal on Amazon. Maybe I'll link it in the show notes. And then also, if you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me at starsocial.pro on Instagram. Instagram.
Oh, cool. I want to quickly touch on your book, right? So what inspired you to write these 2 books?
Yeah, so the first one, what inspired me is after I ran the Young Investors Club for many years throughout high school, I wanted to write a book as kind of like a collection of all the knowledge and all the principles we had learned through investing in the stock market, through running the club, and through me teaching other teenagers. So I wrote that book as basically a gift to everyone who's in the Young Investors Club to give out to everybody. But then I realized that the information on there was so valuable, it would be useful to any teenager interested in investing in the stock market. So that's why I wrote the book, Teen Investing, which has done really well in sales and has now become a top seller in the teen investing category. And then the second book I wrote was Teen Entrepreneurship, which is just basically a follow-up to the first book. And instead of focusing on investing, it focuses more on entrepreneurship for young people.
Got it. Good. Well, Jack, it's really nice to have you on my show. As I said, I just want to bring you in to share your stories, that people can start investing much earlier, and you can think big even at younger age. I didn't have that opportunity when I was young, but I want to share your story to others so that people get inspired as well. So awesome. And any other thing that you want to mention in terms of contacting you?
No, I just say if you want, follow me on Instagram, starsocial.pro. Yeah, go pick up my books. At the end of my book, there's my email address. So if you read my book and you like it, you can shoot me an email at the end when you're done reading the book. And I always love hearing from the readers from around the country.
Awesome. All right, Jack. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's it for this episode. If you'd like to learn even more, check out James's free audiobook. It's the audio version of his best-selling book on passive investing. You can get the audiobook completely free, along with other valuable resources, by visiting www.achieveinvestmentgroup.com/free audiobook. Also, be sure to join our Facebook group too. To find it, just do a Facebook search for Multifamily Investors Group. Thanks for listening. Join us again for another episode next week. See you then.